What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Audi Suite here at Exploria Stadium. Evan, Jenny, Miguel, we're going to break down Week 1, Orlando City's 0-0 draw against Real Salt Lake. Exciting night at Exploria Stadium. We didn't see goals to finish off that exciting night, but a lot of things to build on here, Jenny.
Right, a lot of promising things. I think that we saw a good defensive shape. We saw everybody has the same idea. You know, they're all doing what Oscar Pareja has asked of them, and that's exactly what he said when he spoke to me at half. He said, hey, they're executing what I asked them to, and maybe, yeah, there's pieces that are missing, including that final third, but so much to build off of there.
Miguel, we talk about balance with this team, right? And that's something that maybe last year when the fullbacks would get up or anything like that, the team would become unbalanced, or even when Mauricio Pereira came into the team in August. That didn't really happen on Saturday night. The team was balanced throughout the game.
Yeah, I really thought that the team was in control the entire time. And even when you were 3v2 in the back with Rusnak and Krylak staying up top waiting for the counterattack, I thought the team never looked vulnerable. At times, sometimes, when you get up to go and attack, you look like you can't concede, which is a little weird. And I think Orlando City looked really solid in that regard. Mind you, Real Salt Lake's plan was very clear. They were going to defend. They came out with a defensive lineup with Justin Glad as a right back, who's naturally a center back, and also Herrera, who's part of their defense last year, which was the third best in the country. So their plan was pretty clear, but I thought that they looked solid. They looked in control the entire time.
And RSL did abandon that plan around the hour mark and brought on their big guns in Orlando City. Still maintained their calm. From a defensive performance, who stood out to you guys? Who was the big player that you said, wow, that's an incredible performance?
I think Sebas Mendes. He got Heineken Star of the Match, and that's not an accident. He was great. I mean, absolutely great last night. I mean, Miguel, you know how crucial he was for that team's performance.
Yeah, I just think he picked up where he left off last year. And by the way, shout out to Jenny doing a translation, English and Spanish on live TV. Great job by that. Yeah, look, he's been fantastic. And, one of the things I liked about him the most is that he completed 65 passes and only messed up 7 passes. And he was used to that from last year. But what I liked about the most is that was higher up the pitch. And that's something I know the coaching staff wanted to get out of him, can you get a little bit higher up the field? And I thought that he did excellent and continued to cover a ton of ground, make some excellent tackles, some key tackles, by the way. And he was able to cover for players that were going up like the fullbacks. But you can't do that without a guy like Junior Russo because he complements him so well because Junior is such a smart player and he gave Sebas Mendes the confidence. I think him, Mauricio Pereira, and Sebas Mendes have the ability to be a top 5, if not higher, midfield in Major League Soccer.
So great stuff for the midfield back, but going forward, still looking for a little bit something extra. There were chances, particularly Mauricio Pereira, creating chances, but still no goals. And that's obviously the improvement area for Orlando City going forward. How can we see, Nani coming back into the team would certainly help, but how are we going to see more goals in this team going forward?
Well, I think that's the hardest part of the job. And at first, you got to form a solid foundation and making sure that you don't concede. I thought that goal was achieved. Now, you talk about a player like Mauricio Pereira. That dude was dropping dimes and dimes left and right. And I think there's a little frustration because those players, those plays were not being completed. But I think that's a super bright spot, and he's going to continue that. He's fitter now. He had a full preseason now. And you can see why he was voted the best player for Krasnodar in the history of the club. I thought Joao Moutinho on the left side, too. He created some great opportunities, half chances, putting some quality crosses into the box, and also looked balanced when Juan was going forward on the other side. He was part of that back 3, and I thought that was a phenomenal addition to his game because at times you knew he got forward, but maybe you look a little bit more fragile in the back, and it wasn't the case. So that's another addition to that. And last, I would say that it's still the first game of the season. That's the hardest part to achieve, and you need a lot of chemistry and a lot of time to build on those things. If you look at the goals in Major League Soccer this week, there were bangers, individual brilliance, and there were also set pieces. There wasn't really a lot of chemistry on the goals that we saw. I think that will come with time. So, but on the press, Jenny, you and I were talking about it. I thought Mueller, Benji, and Pereira were so important, Estesio as well, so important in the press. In fact, Chris Mueller was able to nick 3 balls and created 3 half chances from that. So I think this is a solid foundation and lots to look forward to.
I'm excited to see the coaching staff take the information from the game and kind of build from that. Sure. Like he said, we're in the first game of the season. It's a long season, 30-plus games. That missing piece, we have the foundation. The foundation is the most important part. We're building, we're creating up top. And that last little bit of what does Oscar say? Precision is missing, but you know the discipline and the hard work ethic that the coaching staff has, they're going to make those changes and they're going to find a way.
So a solid foundation to build on is the verdict here as we move forward. Week 2 in Colorado Saturday night, 8:30 coverage on Fox 35+. We'll have plenty more about that game coming up later in the week. Stay with Orlando City on social media platforms.